Okay, hey guys, it's early in the morning. I just dropped off my son to his junior high, and I've been driving around trying to find oak trees in my neighborhood because I want to get the acorns that have dropped because I'm going to be showing you a Thanksgiving wreath I'm going to make with all fresh things from my yard and natural products. So anyway, I don't even know this person. I'm going to knock on his door, see if I can steal some of his acorns that have fallen on the ground. And then I will show you later what I'll do with them. I think acorns are so cute for Thanksgiving wreaths on your front door. Hopefully he doesn't think I'm a weirdo. But at the same time, it's kind of fun to be a part of the community and get to know somebody through gardening and those kind of things.
Okay, so I asked them and they said it was fine. They were from Texas. They had a really strong accent, so that was kind of fun. Oh my goodness, this is just overloaded with acorns. Before I get the acorns, I just want to admire the yard. It's quite pretty. It's mid-November and there's still quite a few blooms. See all these zinnias, those little profusion zinnias? They're pretty. So his yard kind of looks like this throughout. So it's kind of fun to highlight his while I get some acorns. See these oak trees? They're really pretty. They've dropped all their things. So I'm gonna go down there and start picking up some of those acorns. They're small, you can't see them from here. Okay, so I just want to show you what they look like. They're fairly small, but all of those are acorns. This whole entire area. This makes me double question if I'd ever get oak trees, because look at how many acorns they produce. But I'm just gonna start putting them in a bowl. I'll bring them home and get started on my wreath. Look how cute they are. They're very small, much smaller than I would have thought. Okay, I got done dropping my kids off at school. I have my acorns here, and I've got my setup and what I'm gonna put together for my fall wreath. I love the idea of using things outside of my garden, natural stuff that's free, doesn't cost very much. I did get this wreath from Walmart for $5. I got these pumpkins thinking I might use them, but I'm not going to. They'll be fun just to put in a bowl. I think they're cute just that way. I did notice with my acorns, a lot of the toppers have come off, so I'm gonna have to go hot glue gum some of them together. That's gonna be a little bit tedious, but it'll be cute. I have this lavender, so I love the idea of having a little bit of bright purple in my fall wreath. It's gonna be a very simple wreath, super easy to put together, but I think it's gonna be very timeless and beautiful. Lavender is great for drying. So why is it on this hanger? Because I was way too lazy to walk downstairs last night to put them on the drying rack, and I discovered that I can put them in my closet. It's fairly dark in there, it's not very warm, and I had to put a shirt right here to balance it, but it just was hanging like that. I'm not gonna let them get all dry because I like the color they are right now, and knowing me, I'm gonna change it up next fall, and so it's not gonna be a wreath I'm gonna have every single year. So, if you do wanna dry it, you can let it dry for a year. Not a year, a year? Oh my gosh, a year. Okay, so obviously it doesn't take a year to dry your lavender. You can let it dry for a few weeks. Another thing that is great at drying is lamb's ear. I'm not gonna let it dry either because that would take about 2 to 4 weeks, and by then fall's gonna be over, and I just don't care. I don't need it to let it dry. But you can let them both dry, and they should hold up for next year if you take care of it and put it in a nice storage. So for now, I have my lamb's ear, I have my lavender, and I have my cute little acorns. I think those three are just gonna be so beautiful together on my front door, and it's very cozy. I love the soft texture of the lamb's ear, and the smell is just so good. This lavender smell is just so amazing. So every time I go to my front door, I'll take a little sniff, or hopefully neighbors who come visit will smell the lavender. Okay, so let's get gluing the tops of some of these acorns, and then after I do that, I'll put it together and show you how I do it, and then I'll show you the final result. I think it's gonna be gorgeous.
So I'll let these dry, and I'll be back with you later.
Okay, so I just got my little acorns, some of the ones that fell off, the little toppers glued back on them. And the next step is I am going to cut some wire, some bendable wire to put around my lavender and create bundles before I put them on my wreath. I got this little steel wire from my local hardware store. Hey, don't bundle my hair. And you can get it at Walmart, I'm sure any craft store. It was like $4 for quite a bit of it. I was gonna use my Fiskars mini clippers from outside, the ones I cut my roses off with, and that would have been a bad idea. Don't use your pruners, they don't like metal and it can ruin them. Okay, so I got some pliers, and right down here they'll cut. So I'm just gonna cut a little piece. That was easy. And then I'm gonna grab about 5 things of lavender. Oh, they smell so good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's important, I'm learning as I'm doing this, as you dry your lavender, it gets more integrity and structure. So some of mine are a little bit floppy because I haven't let them all dry all the way, but I don't really care because I'm too impatient. I didn't want to wait for that. I just wanted to build my wreath right now. It'll still look really pretty, and it'll be a little bit on the wild side. And that's okay because I'm a little bit wild in the way I do things. So it's a good representation of myself. So I'm just going to wrap that around like that. Just twisted and wrapped them around. So I have this one bundle, and I have a lot more to go. So I'm just going to cut all these wires, a bunch of them first before I start bundling, so I can just grab them. It'll be a little quicker. Okay, so I'll get doing that, and then when I've got these all bundled up, I'll move on to the next step. Okay, so I got all of these little individual stems bundled together. I would have to say that I hated every minute of it. It was way too tedious for me. For some of you, it might be very relaxing, and if you're like my personality and hate mundane, tedious little things like that, it probably will make you frustrated and impatient and just you want it over with. So I'm glad I got that part over with. I have to say I'd way rather be outside planting 1,000 tulips than bundling these little lavender. So I'm glad that's over with. Let's show you what I'm gonna do next. So putting the wreath together. I liked that I bundled them. I think I forgot to tell you that you wanna get a little piece of wire around it about 1 inch below the bundle of flowers. And at first I was cutting this about 3 inches, and I was being so ridiculous. It was taking forever. And then I realized, oh my gosh, why am I cutting these so long? So I cut them down to 1 inch, and that sped things up. It still took too long. Okay, so the next thing is I'm gonna cut these in 3-inch lengths, because I'm gonna wrap it around I'm gonna stick my lavender right here. I'm gonna take this piece of wire, 3-inch wire, and I'm gonna wrap it around to hold this lavender in place. And then the next thing I'm doing is I'm gonna crisscross them. So slightly, this one's gonna go slightly inward, and this one's gonna go slightly outward. So I'm layering around the wreath as I go. So it's kind of like doing a braid, but without the 3rd strand of hair. Okay, so let's get this wire. I know some of you like this kind of stuff and are really, really crafty. So this will be good for you. Hopefully it just gives you an inspiration on the beauty, because I know at the end it's all going to be really pretty, and it may or may not be worth it. Okay, let's cut that another piece. So I'll just do 2 of the first ones to show you. So So that one's going in. I'm wrapping it around. So I just think if you use hot glue gun, which I know many of us have, that's what I was going to use originally, that will just be a hot mess and you'll be even more frustrated. So, okay, I got that first one in. So right here, I have, oh, that one just fell. I have this coming inward, and so I'm going to cross it like that, slightly straight. I'm going to cut about 4 inches. And then we're going to wrap that around. Oh my gosh, I notice with myself as I'm doing these things, I stick my tongue out. Do any of you guys, when you're focused, stick your tongue out? I gotta stop doing that. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back and cross right here. So there's a third one. So I'm gonna bring it in, and you'll see how it all comes together. I'm gonna cut some wire. So after this one, I'm gonna cut some pieces of wire and just start putting together, and then show you what it looks like at the end when all this lavender has been bundled around the wreath. So if you're wondering, this lavender is a hide coat variety that I have in a hedge outside in my yard. I have a video earlier on it showing it when it's in bloom, and it's gorgeous. It's one of those varieties that's much more vibrant blue, and it went well into mid-November. So every time I bring it down, I'm just gonna bring it down slightly, about 1 inch to 1/2 inch, depending on how much lavender you have. If you don't have as much, you can spread them out a little bit more. I'm gonna have to spread mine out a little bit more. It turns out this tiny little wreath requires a lot of lavender. Okay, so as you can see, I'm just staggering it like a little braid, and it's coming together. And then once I have those put on, I'm gonna get my little fiskars. Now I can use my fiskars. This is the right way to use them. And I'm gonna cut these stems off so that they're not longer than the wreath. Okay, so that's the basic starting point. And then since it would be way too long for you to watch the whole thing, I'm gonna speed it up and show you in a faster version. All right, so I'm on to my next step. I kind of already started. I put some lamb's ear, so if you can look at this, it's really, really beautiful. I'm gonna put my lamb's ear throughout it. I'm kind of layering it inside, lifting up some of the lavender leaves, and I'm kind of creating a little zigzag throughout it. And I think it looks so pretty. So this lamb's ear, it's Helen lamb's ear. It's a big ear lamb's ear that I have in my yard. I have a video on that shows it, and it's an amazing plant to plant in your yard. It can handle hot weather, drought. It's just a really awesome plant. It's a beast. I just think lamb's ear and lavender is the most perfect complement to each other. So I'm gonna keep layering those out, layering those in here. I'm gonna show you how I do it. So I just take this glue gun. Oh, my little glue gun stick fell out. I cannot believe how fast these little sticks disappear. I swear 3 little squeezes and it's already gone. Okay, so I'm just gonna squeeze that right here on the back of it. And then I will take this stem. Try not to get the glue all over my fingers. That's a hard thing to do. I'm gonna wrap it around and I'm gonna lift up these lavender leaves and sneak it under there. So it just kind of looks like it's blending in there naturally. It's a subtle bit of a silvery color and texture. And then I'll just lay that right there. Okay, that looks good. And so I'll give you a little close up of what I'm doing. And I'll just finish that, and after I do this, I'll add my cute little acorns. Okay, I'm on my final step. I got all my little lamb's ears mixed in. It's really coming together. I think the acorns that I'm going to add right now, the ones I picked earlier, and glued together are just gonna really give it that nice finishing touch, that little natural tone type thing. And I'm just gonna kind of put them at wherever. Some of them are pretty cute. They have little double heads and stuff like that. I just think these are so cute. So, okay, I'm gonna start just gluing these without any rhyme or reason, wherever I feel like they will go. Be fun with. So I'll show you. I'm gonna glue the backs of them right here. Let's do this one right here. Not right on the soft, not right like on top of the lavender, but in between something, so everything kind of just flows over each other. I'm gonna kind of fill where there's some empty holes, spots that could have a little bit of texture, or a little bit of, where they're a little bit empty, where there's a lot of negative space. So, oh, these acorns are so cute. They're just how I had hoped they would be, what I envisioned. I think I'm going to be pretty generous with the acorns because they look so cute in here. Isn't that such a beautiful color? Okay, so here it is. It's all finished. I love how the acorns are nestled in. The lavender and the sage, it's more natural looking. If you go in nature like I did this morning, they kind of nestle into the soil and blend in with the leaves. So I think it looks beautiful. I'm gonna get it on my front door, and I hope that you will be inspired to go do this yourself. I'm sure if you put it on your own front door, you'll get lots of compliments. I love how it's all natural, no artificial. So, okay. Thanks for watching. Bye.